Hey, BB fans!
Welcome to the HOH Room Podcast, where we discuss all things Big Brother with your host Sheeta,
Dara,
and Val.
And remember, nobody gets between me and my man.
Shout out Brendan and Rachel.
All right, guys, welcome back to another podcast episode. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for the support and the comments and the likes and the all of it. We really appreciate it, and we really hope that you guys can keep it coming. Tell your friend, tell your other BB friends, all of them. And
Feel free to subscribe.
Exactly. Help us.
Wow, we resorted to begging.
Right, we're desperate.
It gets there sometimes.
I'm with it.
All right, so we're on episode
14.
Yes. So can somebody kick us off on that one?
All right. So episode 14 starts off with after the vote of Jag 10-0. And it's just showing the aftermath after that. Jag's a bit worried because he sees that everyone literally voted him out the house. So he's kind of on edge and sees that his alliance isn't telling him the truth and isn't as trustworthy as he thought they were. So yeah, that's really where it starts off.
Yeah, I don't know why he was surprised. This house has been voting the same regardless of who they're friends with, aligned with, whatever. They just, whatever the house says to do, they've been voting that way. So he should not have been surprised, in my opinion.
Exactly, because he knows it's like always been like 10-0, whatever 0. So why are you like, taking it so to heart? I mean, I guess he was like, someone should have gave me a vote, but
boy, bye.
Yeah, I mean, you just know everyone's voting the same way, whether they liked him or not. Like, if that's what the majority of the house was doing, then that's what they are all just going to do.
Exactly. So he shouldn't have been surprised.
No, he shouldn't have. So we also see that Matt tells Jag about the power that he used to save him.
Mm-hmm.
And then also we see that Jared,
oh my God,
is doing the most.
Just the MVP, you know what I mean?
Jared's really
he comes through also letting Jag know he knows about the power.
After Saray literally said, don't say anything. I'm only telling you because basically you're my son.
Right.
And he decides, I'm going to try to use this to make Jag feel like, I guess, loyalty towards him or something. I don't know what he was doing with that.
Jared is overplaying. If Cirie wasn't his mom, he would be gone. He's doing too much. And then she has to clean up a lot of his messes. Like
it's getting kind of ridiculous.
It's amateur hour with him.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is. It definitely is. And he's starting to get on my nerves.
Oh my gosh, yeah, me too.
He's been getting on my nerves.
Oh God, he's annoying.
Yeah.
So then Jag's like, okay, well, I'm pretty sure Cirie's the one who told Jared. So he kind of figures it out. And then Izzy and America, they're sitting around, they're talking about who they think got the power. And they just about figured it out too.
Yeah. I think Izzy was like right on. She's like, I don't think Jag got it himself. She's like, I think it was Matt.
Mm-hmm.
And she was right.
Yeah. It seems like just about everyone kind of figured it out. And, Jared didn't figure it out, but decided to let everyone know that he knew. Okay, so then we move right along into the Odd Couples HOH competition. Everyone's talking about getting Cam and Red. I have no idea why no one likes them.
It's so crazy. Like, they just all attack. Like, it out of nowhere, it seems like it was just like, oh, well, let's all get Cam and Red. We don't trust Cam and Red. But that whole conversation where Matt told Cirie, like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I mean, they just go right for them. So,
yeah, they're not even being, like, inconspicuous about it anymore. They're kind of just, like, during that competition, you know how you get to pick who goes against who. They just kept picking those two until they got eliminated.
And how about Cirie just sitting? They picked Cirie or Felicia or Jared, right?
No,
they did pick Jared.
But they did not pick Cirie or Felicia.
And I'm like, why is no one touching? Like,
they're the untouchables.
Yep, it's crazy.
Yep.
I know, and it's kind of funny because this is a shift. We've never seen an older person run the house, and now you have two older women at that are running the house. So it's kind of like it's different. It's definitely different.
It's definitely different.
But yeah, they definitely let them skate towards the end of the questioning.
Yeah,
which I was like, okay, I see people are just kind of scared of them and nobody really wants to ruffle their feathers.
It's so interesting to see. Like, it's such a shift from the norm. Like, it's crazy that they're just like sitting there chilling. Everybody else is picking everyone else. And like, America, she kind of picked up on it though.
She did. She's smart.
Yeah, America's smart, yeah.
Yeah.
So we see that Jared wins HOH.
Yay.
Yeah. I was like, gosh dang it.
Yeah. I was like, anyone else besides him.
Yeah, for real. Like, I wanted somebody who wasn't just making dumb moves constantly, running their mouth, full of themselves, that type of thing. But unfortunately,
he won.
So
I really wanted, when it came down to Izzy and him, I wanted Izzy to win. Just so they can show their true colors to Red and Cameron, because then Izzy would have put them two up and then been like, oh, okay, they're really not with us.
I feel like they already know. Like, I think,
well, no,
she's like, they're coming after me and I'm coming after them kind of thing. So,
no, I think Red, he kept saying it throughout the episode. He was like, yeah, the Legend 25 Alliance.
Yeah, they keep.
Yeah,
go ahead.
They really felt comfortable with the Legend 25,
and they
even after they got eliminated. They were like, as long as someone in Legend 25 wins, we'll be good.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
Yeah, they keep referring to the Legend 25 like, oh yeah, well, if I do what Legend 25 wanted, they'll think that we're still on the same page, and it's like, sir. Legend 25 has been done with you since the day it was made. I don't know why they don't understand this, but they keep trying for it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So we see a conversation between Blue and Jag. Blue is saying that Jag is her number one, not Jared. Like we all were saying on the last podcast.
Exactly. Homegirl will ditch him in a second. She's here for the money and a good time. That's it. But, Jared is willing to lay on the sword for her.
Yep.
Another stupid move.
He's just a fool.
Yeah, that's what it's coming down to.
Yep. So America, we see a conversation. She's talking about she wants to put up, Izzy and Felicia. Or
she
Sheree.
sees it.
She sees what's going on. She's smart. She's picking up.
I think everybody kind of is picking up on it. I think Blue also said something to the effect of like, oh, it seems like Felicia and Saray are like running the house. And then America said something about it too. I think everyone sees it, but it's kind of like, okay, nobody wants to take the shot.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Saray clearly has some magic powers because I don't think it's Miss Felicia. Saray is always covering her bases, thinking about what this person said and how it's going to relate to her game. So she's a very strategic player.
Oh yes, she thinks so many steps ahead.
So then we also see Jared and Red talking. He's over here saying that, Cam was just super on board with putting him up and getting Red out and started almost lying kind of about it. While I think Cameron was more so when he was talking to Jared, just kind of saying, oh yeah, sure, whatever you want to do, just trying to go along with Jared's plan. But he clearly had no intentions. Even when he initially said it, Cam was like, no, I don't want to be up next to Red.
Exactly. He definitely twisted his words.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It seemed more like, oh, he doesn't care about you. Right. He's ready to go. He wanted to go. I think he said something like, oh, he wants to go against you.
Yeah, that's literally what he said. He was like, oh, he wanted to put you up. Like, he wanted to be up next to you.
Yeah, like, he wants to be the one to take you out type of thing. It's like...
Yeah, well, it worked, unfortunately.
I know. Oh, my goodness.
Red, really, man?
I was so frustrated
Your chiller partner, you think he's turning on you? Who would he have left?
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense for him to dispose of Red. And I don't think Red was thinking logically. I think the BB house, like they said, makes you emotional.
Right.
And he just went from 0 to 60 and his mind's racing because you're always thinking, who's out to get me? Somebody's going to stab me in the back. When you have this too good to be true relationship with somebody, you're probably thinking like, what are they saying behind my back?
Yeah.
So I think it just kind of, his mind went wild with ideas.
Yeah. And he didn't even think to be like, oh, let me actually go talk to Cam and see what's really happening. He's just like, well, if this is what he's saying, then that must be true.
Oh my
right. This guy that I barely talked to is telling me that he said he stabbed me in the back. Cam must not like me.
Oh, I was so frustrated. I was like, please go speak to him. Like, one of y'all go talk, which we'll get into that later. But I was so annoyed.
It was frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're on the outside, I mean, you don't know what they're really going through in there, but like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just have a conversation.
Yeah.
But anyway, so then we see that the nominations are Red and Cameron, which was pretty disappointing because I really like those two. But yeah, so that's what ends up happening. Then we see Red, he's just kind of crying
and crying.
Yeah, talking about his chillers and how he feels so betrayed. And he's so heartbroken and sad.
I was so sad for him. I'm like,
too.
Red, oh my goodness, man. Like, it's something about him that's just like, just seems so wholesome and genuine. And it's just like, yeah, it was rough to watch.
It was.
Yeah, I even have in my notes, poor Red.
It was a bromance breakup.
I put
It was.
Red crying. I was like, dang, Red.
I know, it sucked. But yeah, like you said, he just never talked to him. Now, speaking of bromances, the most raggedy bromance ever between Corey and Jared.
What is that?
I don't know.
Like, what?
Their final two?
Yeah, it's like, it happened like day 3.
So this is getting into episode 15. They're talking about their final two alliance that they formed the first day in the house. I was like, what?
Yeah, that one came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that threw me off. I'm sure nobody would think that they're working together in the house. And
I don't even know they know they're really working together.
Right.
Yeah, and then Corey, man, grow a backbone, because it's like that whole thing with America.
Oh my gosh.
Like, he's like, oh, I'm
She's
gonna
throwing it.
and I'm gonna vote her out. Like,
That was so
was
weird. He was like so
terrible.
ready to throw her up as a replacement. Like, what? Corey's like, why would she be throwing competition? Oh, it just seems like it. And that the pressure cooker, it's like, well, the pressure cooker, she made it longer than you. I like what she was like.
She
That's
even
so
said that.
stupid. Shut up.
She's like,
Yeah,
I was
she's
in
like,
here
give her
for 14 hours and I threw it? She's like, no.
She's like, you were gone first, so I don't want to hear it.
Exactly. Which was, the way she got angry was kind of funny. Remember when Corey was telling her what Jared's plan was,
yeah.
and she was like, I'm
And
so
she was like,
mad.
don't stress about it. He's like, no, you have to stress. He's like, oh, I'm so angry. Damn it.
That was
I know,
funny.
that was hilarious. But it seems like this is a very unequal relationship.
Yeah,
It's
for
very
sure.
one-sided, and Jared's just kind of trying to bulldoze his way through
Mhm.
Corey.
For sure.
Corey, let him go. Like, why are you even bothering? It's not even worth it.
It's not.
Because he's not really the brawn that he said he was going to be. So,
No.
like, what's the point of bringing him along? He's honestly like a loose cannon. He's not somebody you want to work with.
No, he's somebody who will end your game.
Oh, for sure.
Versus carry it along. The only reason why he's still here and you don't even know Corey is because his mom.
Exactly.
But yeah, so that was kind of, I just laughed at that because I was like, this is such a weird relationship that I
was.
wish would end.
I
didn't even know it was a thing.
I was just
Me
annoyed
either.
with Corey. The way he was just like throwing her under the bus. I was like,
Yeah, when he told
he's like, yeah.
oh,
pretty
then she
sure
wants
she
to get
threw the pressure
Izzy.
cooker.
Oh yeah,
She wants
exactly.
to get Izzy, Felicia. I was like, what are you
But you
doing?
like everyone can see they're somewhat working together.
right.
So why are you saying America wants to get those people
so
out?
Right.
adamantly just throwing her under the bus.
And
I
then
was
it's like when he's like, well, I'm going to put her up. He's like, why? Why would you do that?
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
like, what are you doing,
I was like, well,
Corey?
you just kind of gave him
Or-
her on a silver platter.
I just thought about this. Maybe because he said that, Jared was looking for an excuse to put her up, and why not say she's throwing competitions?
Oh, yeah.
Might
So
have been
he
it.
probably used it that way to protect Miss Felicia, Izzy, the people of his actual alliance, the real or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, only
Um,
thing is, you're giving Jared too much credit.
Yeah, I
he's
was
not
just about to say-
smart.
I know this is a stretch.
Okay, and also we didn't see a confessional or anything about him saying the truth behind his plan. So I'm gonna go with he's a loose cannon.
Exactly.
You don't know what he's doing.
Well, that would be my thought if if I was in that situation.
Yeah.
Like, let me think of something to get rid of her, and that would be it.
Yeah, I think that was just what he was thinking, period.
Yeah.
No matter what Corey said to him.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
So then we moved into the sludge stacker veto competition.
Yep.
Where we had Felicia, America, Matt, Red, Cam, and Jared all competed. So this one was something that we've seen before.
Yep.
Yes.
Like those little, I want to try it so bad.
I know. I'm always like,
I'm
I
like,
wonder
will
how
I
hard
be
it
shaky
is.
like that?
I think I would.
know I would.
I think I definitely would
I
be
think-
shaking.
I have pretty steady hands. I feel like I'd be able to do it. But I don't know. I don't know.
It looks like it would be very difficult. Like it looks easy, but I know like my hand would be shaking and I would probably be getting frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
Put in the comments where we can get tiny cans from, okay?
And giant
Tiny
tweezers.
cans and big tweezers so we can play this game, and we'll let you guys know what the result was.
I already know I'm gonna be bad.
Right, me too.
But I wonder how like heavy the little cans are. They must be very light
They're
because
very
they
light. I think
just
they're
like
very light.
breathe and they
Yeah,
fall
yeah.
over.
Some people are like, I didn't even touch them or breathe on them, and they just fell. So
Yeah, that's one of the games I really want to try.
yeah,
But,
one day we'll try it.
Yeah, one day. Maybe one of you can apply for Big Brother.
yeah. Maybe you can.
Yeah, you guys sound so convincing. Anyway, so we had Muffin Hands Jared.
Oh, Muffin Hands Jared. Yeah.
I was cracking up. She said it's like the Michelin Man trying to work the tweezers.
Oh my
She was like, he always had these puffy hands and just, he's
Mhm.
tried with all his
I
heart,
know.
but
He was terrible.
he was so bad. I
Him
was like,
and Red.
hey, look at you throughout the competition.
Right. And meanwhile, America's over there like killing it. And
Yeah.
he's over there with his puffy fingers. They gave him the "You're Not Good" music too. It was like, okay, cue the "You Suck" music.
I know. Cue the clown.
Right. So
Yeah. So Cam, he ends up winning that.
so
And-
happy.
Everyone
Yeah.
was so excited when
I-
he won.
I
It was
know.
crazy.
I know. You remember they're like, no one's
Yes,
clapping.
it was like everybody's sitting there like, wow.
He's an absolute beast.
Yeah,
Yeah, he is. He's
He
a
is.
comp beast.
For sure.
I'm
so
getting
happy.
Rachel vibes for some reason. Like
Because
the whole
Bob-
house hates him.
Yeah.
You're by yourself. You're just
Mhm.
fighting for your life back against the wall. Just
Yup.
you know.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens.
I hope he goes far, but
I hope so too, but I don't really see how he would. Luck would have to be on his side.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
But I was so happy that he won the veto. I was like, yay, Cam.
And
Yeah,
who
I
could
was
he
so
even
excited.
snatch up at this point? I don't know.
I don't know. I think there's maybe some
I was about
possibilities.
to say maybe America and Corey.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think so. I think there's some
Those are the
possibilities.
only two. Oh, Bowie Jane.
She's a beast.
Oh,
Oh yeah, she was. Oh my goodness! Like
please.
who doesn't want
I
her
mean,
on their team?
I literally forget she's there, and then I'm like, oh,
Bowie Jane, that
Okay.
would be an absolute slay. If those two got together. I mean,
I know.
but yeah, definitely not her.
Yeah. So now we fast forward to where they're like, "Oh, let's act like we're part of the legends
Yeah.
again because Homeboy won, and
Exactly.
obviously he's going to use the veto on himself."
Mhm.
So they had a meeting of the minds where beautiful, smart Blue brings up a great
oh
plan.
god, this was like so
Ooh.
ridiculous. I was
Yes.
like, oh,
So you know how we were talking about how Jared put his foot in his mouth telling Jag about who had the that power or whatever to
Right,
save
right.
him. So now this puts Sari in a weird spot with Jag, and Jag's not really trusting people. So she
Mhm.
started campaigning to put him out.
Yep.
Which, as Matt, I would be pissed because it's like you made me use that power to save him, and now
Exactly.
you're talking about let's get rid of him.
Yep. I would have
But-
been very upset if I was mad.
Exactly.
about it.
but he didn't know that she was doing it.
Yeah, that's what we said.
No.
If he
Yeah, he
Oh,
didn't know.
mhm.
If he finds out, then he's gonna be.
Oh
pissed.
yeah, I would be pissed. I'm
Yeah.
like, you
Yeah.
wasted my power.
But as always, Sari is very smart, so she's already ahead of the game,
Yeah.
already planning this out. So she figured that part out, and then Blue just out of nowhere
I
says,
couldn't believe it.
I was
"Why
sitting
don't we
there,
put Jag up as a?"
She's like, you're not gonna like this, Jag, but I'm thinking, and he was like,
if I was Jag, I'd been like,
I'd be like, no,
why can't
absolutely
anyone
not.
else go up? I'm
Well, no, she
confused.
was saying, remember, she was like, this would give like it will give the rest of the people in the alliance like, oh, we could trust you again and all this stuff. There was like a reason behind it.
I wouldn't care. I'd be like, there's too many people.
And she would have been on the block and put out.
Whatever. He's probably not.
Whatever.
There are too many people sitting in this room.
I would have been like, Blue.
Right? I've already been on the block. Let's try someone new.
I'm like, fuck Blue.
Yeah, I would have been like, well, it sounds like you want to be up there. But of course, trying to be like, political about the situation. Jag's like, oh, okay, I'll do it.
Right.
And then in his confessional, it's just like, I really don't want to, but I need to gain their trust.
Yeah.
Now, which I wonder if he said anything to Blue, because I would have been like, I would have pulled my so-called friend, quote unquote, aside and been like, yo, what are you doing?
Right? Don't
you
ever do that.
Which
again.
Jared said to her.
Right,
Was like, don't you ever.
Sit there and say, oh, why don't you go up on
Right.
the block?
Smartest thing Jared has said this whole
I
season.
was about to say that.
But she would put him up there in a heartbeat.
Oh,
if
for
it meant
sure.
she
For
could go further.
And she probably could convince him to do it too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. He's easily persuaded.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, now they put Jag up and he becomes the supposed target, we believe.
Yes.
Cam obviously uses the power veto. It was hilarious when he was putting it
Oh,
on.
yeah. A little tiny veto.
Yeah. And he took himself down, and Jared put Jag as a nominee, which was an easy layup for him because his bestie already put him up or volunteered him.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's pretty much where we closed out on episode, 15, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I do want to mention one thing. When America walked in the room and everyone went silent.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, Felicia goes, well, we're trying to think who's going to go up. Maybe you.
I'm like, maybe
America
you,
was
Felicia.
Like, what is going on? And then she goes and she talks to Jared.
Mm-hmm.
And Jared's like, I heard that you want to put up Izzy and Sari and Felicia. And America's like, no, I don't. And she's like, of course I do. But I was just like, why isn't she putting two and two together that Corey must have been the one?
Right, because
Right.
that's the
To
only
tell.
person she ever told.
Right. I was like, oh, I was so annoyed. But that's the
Yeah.
last thing I want to touch on that.
Yeah, that's a good point because I don't know. I feel like she's blinded by liking him so much and she's ignoring certain things, but I would play him like a fiddle at this point.
Oh,
you tell him my
absolutely.
plans?
Yeah,
well, guess
Right.
what,
I'm
sir?
like, okay.
I'll just keep him in my back pocket
Yep.
until it's time to get rid of him.
Exactly.
I
I
mean,
got something
honestly,
for you.
if he's in your back pocket doing this,
But well, I wouldn't tell him anything, but I would use him like
Yeah,
a puppet.
Yep.
Like
Like a
homeboy.
big dumb puppet.
What was that little guy's name?
JC.
JC, yeah.
JC
And his
Bessie.
Fessy puppet.
Bessie, one of the worst players on Big Brother ever.
I know. He was terrible. But anyway, so that's how I would proceed with him. Proceed with caution.
Yes.
So then moving into episode 16,
We have Jag and Red. They both think they're safe. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So they're
Both of them
saying-
are the
Right.
supposed pawns.
So they're like, oh, don't worry, Jag, you're the pawn. And then they're telling Red, Legend 25, still a thing. You're good.
They even bought him breakfast in bed for his birthday.
Yeah.
I was
It's just like
oh,
so sad.
Red.
It's sad and the fakeness. Like, I get you're playing a game, but it would make me so angry. Like, just don't acknowledge me.
Right,
I'd rather you
exactly.
not.
Like, just leave me alone.
Right, don't do all of this and then do the opposite of what you,
know
said
who
you're
would
going
probably
to do.
have that type of attitude?
Nicole.
Nicole, yes.
Yup.
She'd probably be like, look, you guys put me on the block, leave me alone.
yeah.
Yeah, when she goes on the block, it's going to be
Oh
funny.
my God. It's going to be very interesting to see.
Yeah. Because she seems like a straight shooter. Don't try to butter me up. She
Oh,
seems
yeah.
like that
Yeah,
type.
She's like, this, whatever it is, it is. Like, let's not fake anything.
And they had the Legend 25 meeting
Yeah.
Yes.
to basically be like, oh, we're unified and we're
Yeah.
still all together, right?
Yep.
And then they see Cam and Red longingly looking at each other like, I miss you, buddy.
Like, let's get this bromance going again.
Yeah, so now Nicole's like, whoa, wait a minute.
Right? She's like,
Mhm.
and Nicole and Izzy, or no, Felicia.
Felicia,
Yeah.
they were having a discussion about like, we want unity, but I think we're doing this too
Mhm.
far in the
Right.
beginning,
Right.
of
They're
this
like, they're
week.
gonna get back together. They're gonna start their bromance again.
Right.
If we do this right now, they're like, that doesn't even make sense. Let's talk about unity, and then you think them two are gonna be like
Right.
apart? No, that doesn't
Exactly.
make sense.
And there was a scene even when Red and Cam tried to have a conversation, or Cam tried to have a conversation with Red, I should say. And
In
Red
the
was
hot tub.
just, yeah, he
That
was
was so
just
sad.
like, nah,
I was
I
like,
can't do
spit
this.
it out. Like,
Right?
spit it
Just
out.
say what it is so you guys could talk about it.
Right. And Nicole made a good point too. I'm just kind of backing up where she said guys usually squash things pretty
Oh,
quickly,
yeah.
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
is true. I've seen that happen several times. And then other people, they just, well, I guess people as in women
Yeah.
carry the bone for years. So, you know.
Yes, that is kind of true.
So yeah, guys can usually squash things, but they didn't.
Well, I mean, Cam was attempting to. He's like, "What's going on, man? Let me know." And Red's just like, oh, "I'm just sitting here, sad."
I'm like a dog with a bone,
Right,
and the
saying
bone
his
got
little
taken away.
metaphors. Like, and he's like,
I know Cam's just very straightforward
Right,
with
he's
it, like just tell me what's going on, and he's
he's
with
like-
these little riddles.
Right?
"You
It's like,
know, I know, so we both know." And he's like,
it's like, what do I know?
He's
He
just
said,
like-
I'm gonna give you some space.
Right.
He was so confused. It was like arguing with your girlfriend. That's like, you know what you did.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, no, what did I do? Just say it.
And Cam was even like, "I feel like Red just broke up with
Yeah.
I know. So this whole time that Red was even angry with him, Cam had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
He lost one of his best allies.
But Red did say he wanted to talk with Jared
Oh,
and
yeah.
Cam at the same time, which I thought was so smart.
Yeah.
But, I mean, not smart because then they kind of
We
started
see
trying
what
to
happened.
get him. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where he went wrong. He should have just left things the way they
Mhm.
were. Don't stir the boat.
right.
And then
And
maybe
then get it.
next week have
Mhm.
this meeting. But when you're on the block,
Yup.
you're supposed to don't even talk.
Yup.
Just go sit in the corner. If
Yep.
somebody says you're good and all that stuff, and it seems like things are going in the right
Mhm.
direction, keep it light.
I
Make some
mean-
omelets for everybody. Make people laugh.
Yup.
Make some muffins like Paul.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Make people want to keep you.
Mhm.
Like, you won't have this anymore if I'm gone.
But Red he's so naive. So he's just like, oh, I just want to get to the bottom of it. And he, of course, didn't think anything of it by saying, like, oh, I just want to have a whole, a conversation with all of us. So he's thinking, like, what's the harm in saying that? Meanwhile, Jared's like, well, I embellished. So obviously there's some issues with this. And
Exactly.
chaos ensues.
Yep. And everything turned in Jag's favor at that point.
Yup.
Yeah.
So they basically had to choose sides at this point because it came down to seven deadly sins group or the Legends 25. And, so the vote was 8-2
Yup.
with,
Bowie Jane not
Bowie Jane.
knowing what's going on.
as usual, completely confused.
Yeah.
And of course, Cam's not going to vote out his.
Exactly.
Of
That's his
course.
boy, regardless if they broke up or not. By now, I'm assuming they probably had talked some, hopefully. I don't know.
I don't know.
But,
I don't think so because on his exit interview,
He still was like, I'm most betrayed by
Right.
Cam. So
Oh.
I don't think they actually had a
No,
conversation.
they didn't.
Okay, well, yeah, Red still put up that wall.
Mm.
But anyway, he ended up getting voted out. 2 votes where we already went over that.
Yeah.
Um,
And he was in good spirits too. He was
He
still
was.
like, oh, okay, I mean, it's a game. I love it, and I'm just happy I got to experience this.
mhm.
And then when Julie Chen told him about Sari and Jared being mother and son, he was like, oh wow, that's awesome.
I was like, Red.
Just
Red.
like such a happy guy.
I know.
I know. He really is.
Yeah. So that was
Um,
sad to see him go.
But it's okay because in the goodbye messages, we saw that Bowie Jane's going to be in there fighting for Red.
Yeah.
So
How nice. She's going to
good.
get so far.
obviously,
Literally clueless.
Yeah. So,
We move on to the HOH comp.
yep.
Name that too. The HOH.
This one
comp.
had me laughing. I know it's childish, but I thought it was
I
hilarious.
was laughing too.
Yeah, I was.
And,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
Joey Jane was cracking up too.
Yeah, because she's not worried about
Right?
what's going on in the actual game. She's just like looking at the pretty colors and thinking it's funny.
Right. She's just having a good time. So that goes through, and then we see that Cam pulls out the win. I was so
Love to see
happy.
it.
I was
Yep.
like,
to see it.
yes, Cam, he's an absolute beast.
And everybody's like, oh.
Right.
Once again, he said, "I'll celebrate."
Yeah, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
No one's even faking it. Like
Nope.
everyone's just sitting there looking like.
And
great.
this should be his cue to be like, "Let me just take a big hit."
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just go
it's-
after him.
He would need to take out the heads of the snake.
Yes.
Put up Felicia and Saray.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure.
that's. I
and then
think
one
he
of them
might.
come down. Put
Put
up
Izzy.
Jared. Oh, right, Izzy.
Izzy,
Put up Izzy.
yeah. I don't think he knows Jared is 100% with
Right.
them.
Yeah.
Izzy, he knows the three of them are always chilling. The line has been drawn in the sand at this point.
Yep.
Legend 25 it's crumbled now
Mhm.
because, what they said with Red and all that
Right,
stuff. So
right.
that's done.
Mhm.
So it's very obvious that they're not working together. So I think that Cam, if he's smart, that's who he's going to go after this week.
Yeah.
I think Izzy's gonna see the block, but I don't think Saray or Felicia are.
You think?
Mm-hmm.
I think he
Honestly-
might put. I could see Izzy and
Jared.
Saray.
I don't think he's gonna
Maybe he
go
won't
after
put.
them. I mean,
or maybe Felicia and Izzy. I think he's putting two of those three up.
Okay.
I think he
hope
is,
so.
and they
I
can't
hope
even-
so, but I feel like he's not, because when you're by yourself, you're trying to salvage whatever you can.
Mhm.
So he's not gonna be like, let me
That's
just
true.
attack. So Izzy, they already have, like, for some reason, them, like, specifically her, Red, and Cam had, like, beef like crazy, where it was like, we know we're coming after each other, it seemed like. But, like, I think Izzy's gonna see the block. I don't think any of the other ones are.
Well,
Okay,
that's
so maybe-
good enough for me. Honestly.
Yeah, honestly,
I mean,
just
Maybe it'll be
get one of
Izzy
them.
and Jared then, because Jared kind of jerked him around
Yeah.
for his last HOH. So it
and he
would
just
be
got rid of his number one
exactly.
ally,
So it'd be no blood on
technically.
his hands to get rid, to put him up
Yeah.
because you're just returning the favor.
Mhm.
Izzy, they already know they're after each other.
Exactly.
Right.
So yeah, maybe it'll go that way. And Saria is so good at talking that
Yes.
I don't
she
think
will
she's
be
gonna
able
see
to
the
get
block.
him under, back in her
Right.
good graces.
Mhm.
So, and then probably manipulate to get Izzy out because she's not going to want
Exactly.
Oh yeah, of
her
course,
son
she
to
doesn't
get
want
out,
her son to get
obviously.
He needs to go, but
Even though Izzy's not going to be able to get herself off the block.
What are you talking about? She's a comp beast.
exactly. She's definitely gonna be off the block.
Right.
Maybe she'll get Bowie Jane as her accomplice to help.
All right. the
Then
other
she'll
cop
really,
beast.
she'll really win at that point. But and then because it's the Humiliverse, they get to eat slop and take cold showers all week. Everybody. Except for Cam. So yeah, that's kind of how things went.
Yep.
I usually ask for your predictions, but we kind of just did that anyway.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah.
So let us know who you guys think Cam is going to nominate. Who
Yeah.
are the two people that you think he's going to put on the block?
Mm-hmm.
So let us know.
Well, as always, thank you for joining us. Feel free to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Until next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.